party,
Ziggy
man.
absolutely would not party.
He'd do keg stands.
He would not do cake stands. Let's move on.
Oh, yeah, man.
How do you know that, Hashman? What makes you so confident that Ziggy would do keg stands?
Dude, I bought Molly from Ziggy, dude.
Beetle Bailey.
Who's that?
That's fair. That's a fair one. Doonesbury.
What's that, man?
Now, Doonesbury is a cartoon. He might smoke. Doonesbury might smoke. Garfield.
Oh, man. He's always got the munchies, man.
Lasagna.
Oh, man. Garfield loves that, man.
John Arbuckle.
Man, that guy's a nerd.
Well, he's just...
Oh, interesting. That's the first one we've seen who's a nerd besides Professor Dips himself. Now, do you think John Arbuckle, if John Arbuckle went to a party, would any of the girls think that he's cool?
What if he brought White Claws and a bunch of, what were you saying earlier, Vyvanse?
Oh, yeah, man. Adderall, 5 minutes.
So what if John
Xanax.
Arbuckle showed up to a party that Ziggy's doing a keg stand and John Arbuckle shows up? What would the girls think of him?
If he brought all that stuff, man, they'd be down.
Interesting. Very...
What if Garfield is over there telling the
Very
girls, like, this guy's a
interesting.
nerd. This guy's a loser. I don't like him, Garfield's saying, while he's hitting a bong that's shaped like his own head.
Garfield wouldn't say that, man. He's chill, man. He just parties, man.
All right, fair enough.
Can you think of any examples of maybe characters that were nerdy, but then really came into their own and became cool?
Daffy Duck.
What was nerdy about Daffy Duck?
You just want to be bugs, man.
That's true. Okay, well,
No one's as cool as bugs, man. Just
So
be
you're
yourself,
saying
man.
if a nerd tries to be like someone else, they're going to fail miserably. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you got to, find your own style, man. Be yourself, man. You got to vibe with the universe and feel its frequencies. It talks to you, man.
Damon Wayans.
Who?
Marlon Wayans.
Who?
Ziggy Wayans.
Little Man, the feature film.
Oh, man, is that a movie?
White Chicks, the feature film.
Oh, man. That movie's crazy.
Had to have seen White Chicks. That was a good call. Marijuana overdose.
Not possible.
Marijuana death.
I'll do it. I'll be the one to do it.
I'm sorry.
Wait, how do you know it's not possible? Hashman, how do you know it's not possible?
Trust me, man.
Are you saying the military spent all this time and effort on a dream that is unattainable?
Listen, man.
Anti-marijuana propaganda campaign.
Oh, man, no good, man.
Military research.
Awesome.
Military research
Oh.
into weed overdoses.
What?
Military research into weed overdoses in order to crack down on weed finally in the year 2021.
Whatever, man. Just keep feeding me this stuff.
Okay, military experiments to show that weed is fun.
Oh, man. Awesome.
Okay, that's interesting. You've got a different reaction on that one.
The Gremlin.
Green. Green
Oh,
gremlin.
man. Smoke it.
Okay.
True Detective Season 1.
Oh, man. That's just scary, man.
Doritos 3D.
Oh, man. Can I
The
have some?
Dark Crystal.
Who's that?
Bob Marley playing steel drums.
Oh, man. Ting, 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 ting.
John Arbuckle playing steel drums.
Oh, man. He's partying, man.
Interesting.
Oh, so
I'm
there's
hanging-
hope yet.
I'm hanging out, man, in my head.
Now, imagine if I came to one of the parties that you're at, and, I had all the goods I described earlier. I was wearing some new cool clothes. My shirt was completely unbuttoned, and I was playing the steel drums. Would you still think I was a nerd? Or would
Man, I'll pour a beer on your head and hug you, man. That's awesome.
is that good?
Yeah, man. Baptism, man.
And you would say, if I did that, I'd really come into my own. You'd agree with that.
Oh, man. You'd be awesome. You'd be the coolest nerd.
Oh, okay. But I'd still be a nerd. Interesting.
Nerds are just smart, man.
Interesting.
What would make, okay, for Professor Dips to be cooler, how many different colors would he need to be wearing right now?
I don't care, man. Just party.
All right, quick sidebar. Would you mind entertaining yourself for a moment while I talk to Lieutenant General Maxwell?
All right, man. I'm closing my eyes.
Well, here, we got you a fidget spinner here. We have a Rubik's Cube for you here. And then we have one of those physical therapy toys where you try to make the ring go around a bunch of metal wires. So
Oh, it's okay,
And
man.
we have a lava lamp too.
I'm watching Toy Story in my head, man.
you just remember in entirety the movie Toy Story in your head.
Damn it. Slinky Dog is crazy, dude.
Just imagining the Slinky Dog. All right. I think this is a good candidate for administering the gremlin.
I think right from the start, he was the only candidate we could take seriously. With what we've seen of his power of flight, it seems like he's gotten closer to something unknown than any other specimen we've ever come across. You know, I was sort of dismayed when you mentioned the gremlin earlier. He didn't really seem that interested. But then when I said the green gremlin, he thought about weed. So I think that as long as he understands that this is the most powerful edible known to mankind, I think he is going to be down for
I
it.
instantly knew he'd be on board. I wasn't worried about that. It is a 2-kilogram edible that's as big as a football, and you have to eat it with a spoon. I'm pretty sure he'll be on board.
It was interesting he brought up those Russian gorillas earlier because we know that Russians have been feeding gorillas 1.5 kilogram edibles as part of a counter operation. But we think that our 2 kilogram edible developed by Oppenheimer Jr. should finally do the trick.
I know all of that. I already know all of that information. We talk about it all the time. I don't know who you're saying.
Well,
that
I'm just
for.
saying it for posterity on this recording in case anyone in the military is listening who just needs to get caught up to speed at the very end of this tape.
Well, let's give him the big baby's bib that has a large marijuana leaf on him. Let's give him his fork and his knife and let him go to town on this edible.
All right.
And then we'll hold him for what you think? Probably a month of medical observation. I don't even think
I
he'll
think
notice.
about a month sounds right. Yeah.
All right, he won't even.
Did you hear
notice.
what he's talking about? He said he was thinking about Toy Story, but he was just saying that Snoop Dogg smokes weed. I don't think he actually is capable of watching all of Toy Story in his head.
I don't think.
Slinky Dog, man. Slinky Dog, man. He smokes.
Did you say Snoop Dogg showed up?
No, man.
Oh, Slinky Dog smokes weed, is what you said?
He smokes, dude.
Well, I believe the Slinky Dog was voiced by Willie Nelson, right?
Who's that?
He's one of the famous country singers that likes weed, and Snoop Dogg's like the famous rapper that likes weed.
Well, I don't listen to music, but it sounds like country music's gone to shit if this young guy is smoking weed instead of drinking beer, like real country.
No, he's one of the old guys. Like
Okay, well, I just never heard of him. I
know,
don't approve of it.
It's one of those country guys from the 60s where they had ponytails.
Well, what happened to Johnny Cash just singing about getting drunk and doing cocaine like we used to do?
Well, I guess those guys talk about marijuana more now. As
Well,
far
I don't
as
like
I
it, but-
understand, country music isn't cool anymore, so I don't need to worry about it. But this rap music and the Snoop Dogg character, I might have to do some investigating. But before then, let's give this teenage boy enough weed to get him high for 2 months straight.
Should have put Squidward in Toy Story, man.
They should have, actually. That's not a bad idea, but Hashman.
Nothing we can do about it now.
what does it mean? What would it mean to you if I said the gremlin?
Oh, man. Crazy.
What if we told you that the Gremlin is a top secret U.S. government project to create the strongest strain of marijuana of all time?
Man, alien weed, man.
And that if you take
Well, this is not alien weed, and it does not come from the earth. This is a synthetic invention of the government. And have you ever?
Man.
Are you familiar with Mr. Oppenheimer?
He's like the popcorn guy, man.
Orville Redenbacher.
Well, kind of. He does make things explode, but it was more of nuclear bombs than popcorn.
This is a really clean segue, General.
Oh man, that's no bueno.
That's one of the
Hiroshima and Fukushima. Oh man.
Well, this is.
That's one of
this
the.
is-
I just want to compliment. That is one of the cleanest redirects I have ever seen.
But this is his son, Oppenheimer Jr., designed a 2-kilogram edible. Do you know how much your normal edibles usually are?
Well, I make my own, but they're like not sciencey, man.
This is a
I just
football-sized green crystal that you are going to have to eat with a fork and a knife, and it will.
Or you could just gulp it in one big
Oh.
gulp like a cartoon if you want to.
I made a wedding cake, man. I made a wedding cake once and I ate it all myself, man.
I'm sorry. How did you eat a wedding cake by yourself?
It was like 3 grams.
It was a marijuana wedding cake.
Yeah, man, it was great, man.
Uh,
I was like, I marry Mary Jane, dude.
Wait, so
Did you draw anything on it? Was there any illustrations done with fondant or whatever?
There was a bride and groom nug on the top.
So you just ate like raw weed? Like you just ate it? Like the plant?
No, it was a cake, man.
He baked it into the cake. It was a baking.
No, I'm
process.
saying he topped it off with a nug.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was an
smoked 'em.
illustration of a nug.
Okay, interesting.
it
Anyway,
a
we're
real
going to
nug?
give you a potentially...
That's why shirts always says that we're smoking that groom, man. He's talking about the cake.
Well, we're going to give you a potentially lethal amount of marijuana. Is that okay?
Oh, man, I'm going to die.
All right, well, let's bring it in. Let's roll it in. Oh, my God.
You know, Professor, whatever happens here is going to be good for us. Because either he dies and we can prove it's dangerous, or something magnificent happens and we make a breakthrough
I know.
in consciousness.
I know all
and
this.
being.
We've been talking about this for weeks. Who are you saying this for?
I'm more really just narrating it out loud to myself. But at
Well,
this point,
okay.
but-
I was just wondering.
Is it possible to get a contact high off of
It's
edibles?
so
'Cause I'm
strong.
feeling a little bit
it's
weird.
really like this is. It's like sitting in a room with an oil spill and we're just breathing in the gases. Oh,
Yeah, it has its own like gravitational field.
Maybe we
almost.
should be watching this from behind a window or something.
Yeah, like one of those windows where they have the Homer Simpson gloves, you know, and we could reach into the room with those.
Well,
We should have thought of that. But you know what? At this point, like fucking,
they
let's just see what happens.
they lock the doors on us, so they're not opening till Hashman finishes this all. So I guess we just gotta bear. Oh man. Yeah, I feel a little silly. Hashman, could you eat that quickly, please?
I'm already done, man.
Oh my God! There's an edible sized, like a football sized lump in your throat. Did you just eat it in one bite? All right. Well, let me just wish you luck, Hashman. You are about to go on a tremendous journey that will take you somewhere no one else has ever seen.
Whether that's the grave or someplace beyond this plane, we do not know.
You are like a modern day Cortez looking out upon the landscape, wondering what psycho landscapes you're going to conquer. And I envy you. And if you survive this, maybe you could give me your cell phone number. Tell me about different events that are happening at your
Scotty's
college.
dad is taking us to Rainforest Cafe, man. I gotta go, man.
Well, you're going to be, when you signed up for this, there was a possibility of medical supervision. So
Yeah,
you are
gonna be
not
trapped in
allowed
this
to go
facility
currently.
for about a
Hashman.
month.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll come back later, man. I'm not missing out on Rainforest, man. I gotta go.
I'm sorry.
I'll catch you guys later.
Hashman, you're not going to be able to leave. You are medically unfit to be in public.
I'll see you guys. Just
Yeah,
text me
I
later.
well,
Wait, you get-
I know this place is called Silly Labs, and it's on the campus of a community college, but it is a
Now, that
government
door is
medical research
locked.
facility.
Oh
It's-
my God.
Yeah,
He just
it's
walked.
heavily
We have a
guarded.
breach. He just walked through the door. He just phased right
Oh,
through
no.
the door. Hold on. Something. Cameras. Yeah, go ahead. Look.
Where is he? He went into the bathroom, but he just phased through that wall
Get us
too.
out.
it looks
Good
like.
Lord. He's on the cameras. He walked right out the front door. They can't even see him. He's invisible to the human eye there.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get out. Somebody breach containment and
I
get
guess
us out of
we
this
have
room. We have to
our
take care
answer.
of this. End the tape. End the tape. Are you kidding me? This can't go out.
following is an archive podcast presented by the Branson and Hudson Foundation for Podcast Recovery. This podcast is entitled The Pickle Spa. It is the first and only episode of the podcast. Welcome to episode 1.
All right. So there's this thing. Is it going? Thank you, Janine.
It's got the red light.
The red light means it's going. It's recording. Classic.
Yeah, the red light means power's on.
I mean, it means it's recording, and it's the thing that shows that it's going. Anyway, thank you, Janine, for setting this up.
Thank you, Janine.
This is just to keep a record of our. We're gonna be talking business today. I'm joined with my good friends here. My name is Aldo Ceviche. I'm joined with my good friends Walt Tremblay and Lou Perltzman. Thank you for meeting me here today, fellas. We got a lot to talk about, and I think that we got a lot of good things planned here. First off, can I get you guys anything? Can Janine get you guys anything to drink? I got everything. Got a whole cabinet, fridge. She can make you a daiquiri if that's what you want. So get you a daiquiri.
I could have a little cup of chartreuse.
Cup of chartreuse for you, Lou.
Sweetie, do me a Contro, Fresca, and gin. Why don't you turn around for me, too?
Contro Fresca. Oh, man, that sounds good. Can you bring me one of those in addition to my chartreuse? Just a small cup.
Bring me one of both, and I'll mix them together. I'll sip them. I like to sip them. Don't mix them.
Don't mix them.
Mix them if I want. I'll mix them if I want. I'll see what I can do. Anyway, so we're gonna be talking about today's a little bit of a business venture. I'm a businessman. You guys have your own things that you got going on. You're both very business savvy gentlemen, as far as I can tell. Haven't known Walt as long as I've known you, Lou. But I think that today we got a lot of good ideas that we could put together. So,
Where'd you find this customer, Aldo?
Hey, I like the cut. Is he razzing me? I like the cut of this guy's jib. He's razzing me already. Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
You'll like him, Walt. Walt and I, we met. I saw him. We were at. I was at. Where was this, Walt?
We were at Benny's. I was at Benny's. I was arguing.
I saw him at Benny's.
I was trying to return the cheese because I didn't know Pepper Jack was supposed to have the little flakes in it, and I freaked out. It was a common misunderstanding, but I was there wearing my jacket, and you like that, I guess.
I was there looking for capers. I had to go buy some capers. I was out of capers. I go there. I see this guy Walt. He's wearing one of my jackets for the Pussy Club. You know the Pussy Club, Lou. You're a member. I see this guy wearing a jacket. I'm like, well, what do you know? A member out in the wild. It's probably a great guy. I should say hi. I go up to him. I say, I give him the secret greeting and everything. And he looks at me like I'm insane.
You got this crazy guy coming up to me in public, and you told me not to say the secret greeting. But it's a lot more yelling than I anticipated. So this guy's up here and he's in my face, and he's keeps saying Pussy Club, Pussy Club. And I put my dukes up because I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what was on the back of the jacket.
Long story short.
So
go
now,
ahead.
So now we got two guys who can't tell that Meg Ryan got any work done.
Hey, she's still gorgeous. I don't give a shit. She's no Mary Steinberger. I'll tell you that. You guys seen her lately?
Oh, Mary, I could tell you stories about what she did in the chiffon coat room.
I would die. You bend my ear, please. I'm dying to hear that.
I cry watching the You've Got Mail. It's like an old movie, but it still holds up.
I think you're tearing up a little bit now. Here come the waterworks, huh?
I mean, the T. Hanks, he does it to me. That he's an American great. I want to, anyway, so, well, I tell him I like the jacket, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of confusion. He definitely wants to talk to me, but he also seems like he might try to fight me, or he was being very defensive, but then he dropped that defense really quickly because he wanted to talk to me. Anyway, we get to talking. He's not a member of the club, which is in defense of the club, and he got this jacket at Goodwill. And I'm like, well, that's great. Some schmuck just tossed this thing away like it was nothing. It's a quality jacket.
He could have died. The guy could have died. I could be wearing a dead man's jacket,
Maybe it was Nathan Lane after he found out a few things about himself.
Oh, let's not go in on Nathan. Come on now.
I like Nathan. The bird cage?
that closet queen. He may as well replace that girl from the USA Network, Megan.
Listen,
I hear they're looking for a new one over there.
Still got the USA Network. I think it's Paramount now. That's something. I think it's web TV. I think it
Well, it's
became
funny,
IMDb TV.
Lou, you're going
Yeah,
on.
people like you need something to watch after you go to the M&M store.
And I love it. You seen the green M&M lately? They put some high heels on her. I tell you what, driving me wild. I didn't know the M&Ms had that many ranges. You know.
Why'd you have to bring up Megan Trainor?
Listen, big fan. I don't want to get started on her, but she basically invented bragging about, having more things to push around during sex.
Oh, it's better than that disrespectful Megan that's like Lou's talking about. Her husband moves to America so he can wear a Yankees cap, throws away entire royalty life, and I think it's crazy. We got to respect the Queen. I know, Walt, you've been to England and the UK, and unfortunately, we're very involved with the murder of Princess Diana.
I wasn't
no one
involved in the murder. I was present at, an accident, really.
Oh, poor Diana. She cried about being too skinny. Honey, I know some Tish girls who would kill to have that.
Now listen.
The way that they've treated Andrew, everyone's done what Andrew did. Believe me. Everything.
The main thing was that I find out Walt isn't a member of the Pussy Club, but I invite him to join. I have him over for dinner. And you mentioned Nathan Lane. Both of us, we watched Mouse Hunt together at my place. I got the big screen.
No, it's a mouse trap we watched.
No, Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane.
Oh, I watched. Oh, wait, no, that's what you're thinking.
It's a very sexual movie.
I'm thinking of the Birdcage. That's what I'm thinking of.
Right.
That movie was completely unrealistic.
What? I like that. I like that era gay guy, and the gay guys were on and they were, were laughing at him. They were Will and Grace.
Here we go. He's talking about.
Tell you what, they're trying to be too cool for school. They're giving hugs to guys in flannel shirts on the Netflix, and they're not roasting them anymore. I want them to roast them again. I like those gay guys.
You got a point. You got a point. Nowadays, it seems like any friends of Dorothy are on your TV. They're helping a dental hygienist match her jacket with her gums.
It's boring. I want
That's
them to
right.
roast her. Make her cry.
Now we're talking.
Whatever happened to
I think I
Will
like this character.
Whatever happened to Will and Grace? They got all these crazy reboots and remakes coming out. Let's say a reboot of Will and Grace.
You used to see ugly girls crying on the TV all the time from those gay guys, and now you get nothing. If you want to watch an ugly girl cry, you got to go to a college campus at like 2 a.m. on a Friday night, and I can't stay up that late.
Every time Rebel Wilson's on my TV, it's a spit in my face, not the kind I like.
What's the kind you like?
Well, maybe one of those Vassar boys if they ever put out.
Oh, you're one of those old school types of gay guys.
That's right.
Could you pass a word on to some of the younger gays and just be like, live it up a little? Just have some fun for a while. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Oh, honey, that's what I've been trying to tell him since Clinton.
Whatever happened to Jessica Alba?
She was, she wore her way through every copy of Maxim, and now I don't know where she landed.
Oh, what a funny story. What was she, a contest winner from Encinitas?
Yeah, she was a beautiful woman. She wore, all the wet T-shirts, I think. She was in that movie with Hellboy when he was a man still. The man Hellboy or whatever.
She had the waistline of a shortstop.
Is that good? I can't read this guy.
I don't know. I mean, that's Lou. I mean, I never know what he likes. I never know. I'm not going to go into the specifics. It's against, my religion of what he is, but I still love him. He's my good friend. I'm from my mom.
I don't want to start, preaching and whatnot.
I'm not
to
preaching.
Me.
I don't go to church or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's ingrained into my soul, my bones, my mouth. She. Anyway, let's get on with it. We're talking today about a new business venture. We're talking business. We've been gabbing and yabbing. Now let's get actually down to business, okay? So I talked to a little bit of you guys about this situation. There's something going on with the wealthy, with the stars, with the people that are all around the world that run things, the invitation only balls, you know, all those crazy eyes wide shut types of parties. And
Oh, I wouldn't do well in any of those. I'd be like, hi, excuse me. Everyone would know who I am.
well, you'd be walking around with no mask on, you know, everything.
I'd be like, it's crazy, y'all. You're just, this guy's sticking stuff here. This lady's, got their fingers at God knows where. I bet, you know what they don't ever mention in Eyes Wide Shut? I bet that room stinks. I bet that room stinks like a hockey bag.
Little bit.
What do you wear? What do you wear, Walt? Do you use the Irish Spring, or do you use like an aftershave? What's that smell on you?
Well, I am a Kirkland's Best kind of guy,
Oh,
from
Costco man.
head to toe. Kirkland's Best,
A
really.
little bit luxurious for you, Walt.
Well, I like to buy in bulk, I guess. If that's luxurious, then I count me amongst the lucky few.
Now listen, I'm hearing about these guys. I'm hearing about these people. Big time names. I'm talking about, owners of stuff, wealthy men, CEOs, executives. I even heard Leonardo DiCaprio was doing this thing.
Oh, he's good. I like him. He's good.
Oh, I love that kid. He's great. I thought he was a little bit. You see Titanic, you're like, he's a little bit gay, but then you see stuff like where he's like killing people, or like that Wolf of Wall Street movie that he was in. He was crazy, and he's doing. I remember those days. Popping ludes.
Oh yeah, you popped ludes.
Oh yeah. Me and Lou. Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Lou
We
still got some.
probably went through the last batch that ever came through Queens.
Oh man, you guys had a couple. How them livers looking on you guys? Gosh. Can't imagine. I won't go past a Miller Lite, but
Don't
you guys
wanna know.
over here. I guess
Don't
the
wanna
world's
know.
your big party, huh?
Well, despite what Brooke Shields wants, I'm still ticking.
Brooke Shields wants to kill you. See, now that's interesting. I like
should
to
wa-
hear about that.
I should want to kill her for what she wore to my cousin Shiva. Sequins?
Listen, I'm just a Midwest nobody. I know you cannot wear sequins to a shiva.
No. Yeah, tell her that.
I will. You know what? I'll email her. I'm good on email. I can find almost everybody's fan pages. Pretty easy.
She's had a thing against Lou ever since he stabbed Tim Gunn at that party. So
He knew
not
exactly
a big deal.
what he was doing.
You know what? I'm not mad about that. He's not funny at all.
So there's this thing. There's this place that these guys are going in Montana. It's a little bit of a resort, right? It's a little bit of a resort, and they're going to this place, and they're staying there a couple weeks, a few weeks, depending on what they're doing. And they're coming out, and they are reborn. Essentially, is what I'm being told. And
They're like cloning or.
what? Where did you what are you talking? No,
I saw a movie about it.
Well, I mean, like Will Smith, he's in a lot of movies like Tom Cruise, Will Smith, these sci-fi guys, blockbuster stars, big time guys. These guys have done it, and they're going to this resort, this spa, okay? And essentially, what they're doing to these guys is that they pickle them.
They pickle them?
Yeah, they pickle these guys.
You like a pickle?
Yeah, like a pickle. They go there, they get pickled a couple weeks or a few weeks. I mean, I don't know how long.
Well, I have a lot of questions. Is it all right if I ask a lot of questions?
That's what we're here to discuss. There's a lot of details we got to flesh out, and some stuff we got to cut, some stuff we got to introduce. And I want your guys' opinions on this and what we could do to make something like this happen and make it the best of the best.
So with like dill and garlic and like red pepper flakes are being pickled?
Oh, you can pick what you want to be pickled with. You choose your brine, and depending on which one you choose, it could be more expensive or less expensive. I heard that. Jared Leto, his brine, he paid like $1.2 million for it.
$1 million clean for a brine? I've been pickling stuff myself my whole life. Telling me I could have put Jared Leto
Well, they
in.
got to get a custom jar or a barrel. Some of these guys want to do the whole head submerged, And they're coming out. They're coming out looking, they're green
Well,
or
all right.
yellow.
So, like, if they pickle their head, right? Did they get like brain damage or?
No. It's all safe.
I mean, I don't,
This is developed by a doctor,
Can they still like walk and stuff like that? Is it a thing where they get like?
I guess it depends. Some of these guys come out and they're super crunchy.
They smell like dill and they're in a wheelchair and they're getting brought to the
Some of
airport.
them are super crunchy. Some of them are a little bit more sweet.
I tell you what. Here's an idea, and I don't want to get too far ahead of everything, but if you're gonna have a resort for them, to get pickled, you should have the recovery place for them to recover from the pickling and like.
That's part of the resort. That's part of the resort. Well, this is the kind of stuff that they already have. They're already doing this stuff, but what could we do to make ours better? So I like your mindset right now. I like where you're going with it. I like the questions you're asking me. Blue, what's your input about this? What do you think?
Look, about a month after, we start the pickling place, everyone's going to be doing the same thing. Tragedy of the commons. When one guy figures out the best way to pickle, well, Jerry busts his daughter, someone starts another place. So then you get place number 3 and 4. Everyone's got a pickling place. Soon enough, you can even get pickled in San Diego if you angered God so much that you live there now. Thing is, do you have something to say about San Diego?
No. Go ahead. I want you. Go ahead.
So, thing is, it's got to be about the amenities. So, think about
100%. 100%. Thank you. 100%.
We got to set ourselves apart. Do things these other clubs don't do. I've, not bad for a boy that grew up in Lower Manhattan, but I've mingled with the rich, so to speak. Some might even call me one of them. You have to separate the families. The husbands don't want to be with the wives. If they have to be together the entire time, they're going to come up with an excuse.
She's going to be talking his ear off if they're in the jar together. We got to make up something that says, you can't jar people together. Because they're not even, what if they don't even like listening to the same music? I assume they're listening to music in the jar.
Well, you know how it is with these guys. Big hot shot, works for Citadel or a place like that. Maybe Vornado, family business. And, sees some girl in, one of those clubs that those ones go to. Probably fresh off the bus from, Ohio or Pennsylvania.
Well, I think we could get a lot of names just dipping into the pussy club. I think this is going to primarily start out as a male focused endeavor. I think we get the success of the first place, like this place in Montana, right? We expand, we have places in multiple locations, and we'll talk about location. That's going to be key for this first place. We get names, right? Names like Tim Cook.
I'm hearing something right off the bat that I'm not liking.
Tim Cook, guys like that, big time. Scott Conant from Food Network, guys like that.
He's good. He's got slick hair. I like him.
I love him. He gets mad about the pasta every time. He'll kill you over if it's that al dente. I think.
I think he pickled his hair. I think that's how he keeps his haircut like that. But listen, I got a problem. And you're telling me it's going to be a guys only resort, but you're not going to get guys to drop that much money if there aren't girls around to impress. So the staff's at least got to be all women, right?
All right. So here's what I'm thinking.
Maybe a nice little treat for a guy like Lou.
Lou's a gay guy.
Vassar boy. Get him a boy from Vassar. I heard they got great boys there.
No, they don't put out. Here's what we have to do. Where my, Aldo, where my great-grandnephew, Hunter Taylor Perlsman, goes to Dalton?
Yeah. Great kid. I love him. We play golf.
We got to recruit from the Dalton senior class. High rollers, they're not going to get massaged by anyone older than 19. We got to get Dalton lacrosse, Dalton track and field, and especially Dalton racquetball boys in there. And girls.
Gotta get those boys in there. I'm thinking some girls from probably Arizona State, maybe some girls from UCLA, girls from We got to get some Aggies.
You got to get some
up in the
USC
mix.
girls.
You gotta get, a guy, no matter where he comes from, even if he was just, he grew up in Riverdale, not the one that you watch, but the neighborhood in the Bronx. But a boy like that took him till he was 25 to lose his bar mitzvah weight, and only a precious few Jewish American princesses touched his schmeckle until he hit it big with an IPO. He's gonna want all types. Now that he's a big shot, he's gonna want those exotic girls from Cafe. He's gonna want all types of Balkans.
Some Portuguese.
You gotta go ASU.
Get some Portuguese in there.
University of Lisbon, all those schools.
Well, I heard there's like new types of girls out there who like dye their hair like crazy colors, and they're on the computer all the time. Maybe a guy like that, you could be interested in, the kind of, we can get some of those girls.
Oh, honey, I think you just invented new school girls.
There's different schools of girls?
You could say that.
I got a lot to learn from you guys, huh? I guess I got a lot to learn. I'm not going to stop talking, but,
I think that like, how Fallon, love the guy, shows like him or Kimmel, they got the live bands that play everything there. The Roots, they're on Fallon, right? The Roots, love the Roots. Love those guys. But I'm thinking maybe we have a live band inside the resort that lives there. That's why they're called a live band, because they're like live band. They're live. They live there at the spa resort.
Right. I know what a band is that lives at like a resort.
I got just the guys for you. I caught Julian Casablanca's papa doing something very naughty.
It's funny you say that, because I was just about to say I want the Strokes. That was exactly in my mind where I was going with this. So this is why I bring Lou in.
All right, well, we'll get the Strokes to, be a living band at our pickling resort. How hard could it be? We get some Vasa boys. We get all different types of girls, right? And
how's it gonna look in the promos that we send up privately? Kind of like a for your consideration Blu-rays that the Oscars do. We send out some of these promo videos, and they see the Strokes are playing. These hot boys and girls walk around serving the Mythbusters while they're wearing a robe, and they're just bright yellow green, like Gatorade. And they are looking crispy, crunchy, a little bit sweet, a little bit sour, and they're having the best time of their life. That's what we're going to do. We need a name, we need a location, and we need marketing.
Before we get too ahead of ourselves, I really want to jump in on something here, and I apologize, Lou, if this is insensitive, or if maybe I'm beating a dead horse with this. But can we really make sure those Vasa boys are like the funny? I don't want them to be like, oh, your childhood was so hard, or, I empathize with you. I want them roasting everybody. Julian, your jacket's too tight while he's up there playing whatever Stroke songs are. Looking at Jared Leto and going like, I don't know, I can't do the voice. It's homophobic if I do it. But you know what I mean? Like a disapproving of everyone's general existence.
It can't be Vasa Boys. It really can't. First of all, they're never going to put out. The guy spends enough, and it's been like this since time immemorial. Guy spends enough in place, he gets to sample the human resources, right? It's like that everywhere. Vasa Boy won't do that. They're afraid of what the girlfriends might say.
Well, what we need is a nice young face to be like kind of the spearhead for this campaign. The marketing for this is going to be key, like I said. And I'm thinking that who's the young guy you like, Walt, and Lou too? You guys, the guy from Gossip Girl, Dan,
Buddy Cole.
Yeah.
No, we get Dan from Gossip. I said young. I'm talking.
He was young on the TV. He's frozen in time on the silver
Dan
screen.
from Gossip Girl. He knows the ins and outs of people. I mean, he knows how to understand what they need, how to manipulate, how to get what we want out of this whole thing.
I don't know. I hate it when people talk behind my back.
Well, you're going to be his boss, so don't worry about that, Walt.
You guys ever had bosses? All you do is talk behind their back. Are you kidding me?
Dan may be a little bit niche, you know, ideally this place takes off. We're not just going to be serving New Yorkers or Angelinos. You know, there are rich people, unfortunately, in places like Chicago. You know, you want to get your Ricketts and people like that, you got to get someone they know. So we need an actor that's universally loved, that even all three of us respect. And, you know, I think we should...
Joey Pants?
Gary
No,
Oldman?
You know who I'm thinking of. Let's all say it at the same time. I'll count us down.
All right.
3, 2, and here comes the one. Donnie
Hayden
Wahlberg.
The wonderful Mr. Dundee. Crocodile Dundee.
What are you talking about, Walt?
He's got a new movie. It's on Tubi.
No, Paul Hogan's got to be dead, right? That guy's...
That's his name. I was trying to think of his name. No, he's still kicking. No, wait, maybe it's Paul Newman plays him
Oh, yeah?
now.
Really?
I think Paul Newman
Janine
took
says
over.
he was... No, Paul Newman's dead. Janine's telling me that he's still alive. He's like 80.
He must have filmed it before he croaked then, Paul Newman. I don't know. It could be he's a new character. I couldn't... It was...
Paul Hogan. Walt.
I still have a cathode ray tube TV, and sometimes it's not so good with faces.
Well, you got to be like, what? Like in your late 40s, 50s, and you don't know anyone
Early
who I ever-
50s.
anyone I talk about, you don't know who I talk about. You know who Ariana Grande is.
Yeah, get on YouTube.
I mean, if I start clicking around, I won't get anything done. I'm looking at old episodes of Pyramid. Next thing I know, I've eaten like a tub of ice cream, and I'm getting all these guys blowing up my phone about the Pussy Club, like their jacket hasn't arrived yet. They haven't gotten laid yet, and I'm like, it's not about that. It's about the mindset and your love of pussy. And still, I mean, it's just all a whole mess, and I can't. The price.
I understood the Pussy Club instantly.
Oh, I'm not saying you. It's not about you. I'm not. Well, it's not. You're not. I think we got a little bit sidetracked here. What were we talking about?
Oh, yeah, no, we were talking about the Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh, he'd be good.
Yeah,
Is he
so Donnie-
alive?
Yeah. You know,
He's got less hair than me.
Listen, if a Wahlberg died, we'd have heard about it. You know?
he's right. The man's right.
If that listen, they're all gonna be, crazy, Massachusetts Irish people about, whenever somebody dies, they're the greatest guy ever, that's what it would be. Oh, Donnie. They'd be like that. They'd milk that for weeks.
They would.
yeah.
They love it when a family member dies. It's the
Oh
best
my
thing
God!
that ever
It's
happens
like I
to
can
those
get so
people.
much attention from this. We're gonna make a Donnie burger at Wahlburgers. You remember Wahlburgers?
Every time an Irish mother gives a kid a bath, hold them down until they stop seeing the bubbles come out.
That's why
They
they
have their
have so
favorite
many
type
of
of
them,
party.
right?
Yep. That's why they have their favorite type of party, a funeral.
Oh, another time to drink. This is going too far.
They're disgusting.
I'm ripping them apart like I'm a gay guy or something. Like I'm a young gay guy.
You guys realize I'm very Irish, right?
You'll be you'll be all right. I thought you were Portuguese.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You people made it through worse.
Ceviche's very Irish, Walt. Like, what are you talking? Anyway, so the Pickling Resort. We got to put this place. Where are we putting this, huh?
You got to put it somewhere out in the middle of the country. You got to put it somewhere underpopulated.
They gotta come to it, right?
Yeah, they got to come to it. Guy lives in the Upper West Side or the Upper East Side. Upper West Side, if he's got a wife who stopped brushing her hair, maybe. They like the idea of jetting off. If you just go to Union Square and get your asshole waxed, it's not so much of a destination. You're going the same place that realtors go to do that. Do you want that? No, they don't. They put in the hours. They want to say, I'm going to, it has to be like real in the sticks, real
Terre
shithole.
Haute, Indiana.
No, it's always somewhere like dramatic, right? And it's always like Montana or North Dakota, because you can have places in the middle of nowhere, but nobody's going to Alabama or something like that. You got to have
No. It has to be. Barely anyone lives there.
Idaho's a no-go. Wyoming's a no-go. If we just break it down, we're stuck with,
Indiana.
South Dakota.
Chicago.
What?
Yeah, fifth rate. city like that no one really lives in.
There are gonna be too many cameras.
They like being seen.
I think we gotta do it.
You should see the amount of gals I've seen leak where they're gonna go to page 6, just so they can see a new angle. See if that micro lipo on the jawline paid off.
We gotta make a new Martha's Vineyard, except instead of like, it's in the middle of the ocean and whatnot, and it's full of rich people. We gotta make it like in the middle, like on top of a mountain or something.
Wait. You say middle of the ocean?
Something like that. I'm not a geography guy.
If we put it in the middle of the ocean, we can hire from the Dalton junior and sophomore classes.
All right. Do they work cheaper, or did they put out more?
Oh, baby, we won't even have to pay them.
It'll be like an internship.
Why don't we keep it within national limits, fellas? I think it'd be a little bit easier, although it would be less taxes possibly.
It'd be hard to fly.
A lot less taxes.
It'd be hard for them to fly a plane out to the middle of the ocean, though.
But it's possible. I've done it.
Yeah, well,
The logistics is definitely my concern. I think that a lot of stuff with that is going to be really a lot of trouble. I think maybe once we expand, that's something that it's a concept that we can focus on more. But I'm thinking more about, middle of America, maybe the Grand Prairies.
I got a crazy idea.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Tony Hayward from British Petroleum. I won the Deepwater Horizon rig from him in a game of gin. We could just use that. They got sinks and bathrooms and all that crap on there. We can just refit it.
There's a lot of salt water. I mean, you could make a good brine out of that salt water, I'm sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you're thinking, we just cut our saltwater costs down to nothing.
100%.
You just mix it, just half. We can even go cheap on the vinegar, get just like a big mass-produced white vinegar. We don't have to get that like apple cider vinegar, I got a different angle, and I'm not saying your idea, was worse than this idea. I'm just brainstorming here. What if we just, we put it deep underground?
There's already an underground club.
Man.
Yeah, I've been there. They're big on pomp and circumstance, but it's really not that exciting once you actually get past all the ceremonies.
What about in a volcano?
A guy like you's probably been to Denver, right? That's where it's at. It's under the airport.
I stopped there once, I think, on a layover, and it was cold. It wasn't for me.
Maybe we missed each other.
Couldn't breathe when I was there. I can't breathe. They call it the Mile High City. And I get like halfway up to it, and I'm going.
I want to be underground.
Failure.
I couldn't breathe down there either. With Liz Cheney and those Virginia Slims.
Oh, she's smoking up the room, huh?
Disgusting.
Now listen, maybe we talk about the location later, but maybe we should focus more on the details of the place.
All right.
How much does it cost?
Looking at a startup cost about, I don't know, I'd say nothing you're going to break the bank over.
250.
10, 11.
250.
Million?
The same number. I was saying.
No, 1,000. Registration fee. 250,000 registration.
The land alone. Buddy. You don't think there's all these think tanks full of rich guys trying to come up with the next weird thing to put in Billings, Montana or whatever? I bet that real estate's going through the roof. I bet some Google guys are out there right now.
Now, we're talking about cost of making the place. I don't think we can spend... It won't be more than 15 million.
Oh, you're talking about construction costs. I was talking about, to register to come to the that was
okay. So to register,
split it up. We're gonna talk about construction fees.
Okay.
So the actual construction of the building, the skeleton of it, basically, that's gonna be about 10 million.
Is it gonna be one building, or I was thinking like a whole campus?
Oh, now you're talking. Now that's more money.
Well, it's a resort, right? A resort, you don't just stay inside of it all day.
We're gonna have to have pools, brining pools. You're going to have big shells for those jars.
You're gonna have to find a guy to make jaws that big, or barrels.
We
Barrels
gotta
would
find
be
like a Paul Bunyan type, like a really big kind of guy that could be like our carpenter to build really big shelves, because those are big jars.
Wait, you saying we gotta look for like a 40-foot tall guy?
There's got to be one out there, right?
They were doing some pretty interesting things with Rand Corporation in the 80s, but
I had a buddy work at the Mountain Cheyenne complex in Wyoming. He told me that they were doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Like they had a giant? Like a giant?
He said they had giants.
listen, I'm not making any promises. I don't like to make those. But Mr. Tony Blinken's dad also did some very bad things at a Purim party at my residence. So maybe I can see what they have going on. Maybe they got a 40-footer they're not using.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, what you told me about that guy, I mean, he showed you his Lord vessel. He's got the actual Lord vessel.
One time.
Like, why do you get that?
He had a little too many old fashions, and he started throwing Gwen's lightning.
The worst
he
thing.
had Tony Shalhoub right in his eye.
They get genetically altercations, and they just have the different stuff. Listen, I'm not one of these guys. I aspire to be like these straight men. I'm trying to listen. Bottom line here, fellas. Well,
I'd be so pissed if
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm just saying this is very under wraps, right? You guys are going to be. This is an NDA deal. This recording is going in the vault, and
no one's ever going to hear this.
I think this whole venture that we got going on. I mean, the Pussy Club was my initial baby for all this kind of thing. Exclusive clubs, Bohemian Grove, Skull and Bone Society type of shit. This ticket, this pickling deal could be our 3 tickets for all of us to join the Illuminati.
I think like the worst thing is if I met like a guy and they're like, we're going to bring in the giant, right? You're going to see the giant for the first time. And if he's only like 9 feet tall, I'd be like, this is just a big guy. It's not a giant, right? Like,
I mean, that's pretty tall. I mean, what's the biggest?
But that's not like, he's a new type of guy,
Are you going to tell a man that's 9 feet tall to his face he's not a giant, Walt?
You know what? I would. I'd be like, you're just a guy.
I bet
like
you would
the
actually.
Rest of us.
You're son of a bitch. You're real, like, you're a fuck. Yeah, you're a real
I'm not going to let,
I
don't care. I'm not going to let anybody talk down to me, I got my respect.
But you got to be, I mean, they got respect too. You got to be respectful. If we're at some Eyes Wide Shut deal and they bring out the giant to serve shrimp to the party goers, you can't just be saying this stuff.
I'm going in attack mode the second I see that guy, and somebody told me he's a giant. I'm like, so you think you're a giant? I'll kind of do one of those.
And then
things.
he's going to be thinking, well, who's this mook that's talking to me about all this? He's going to smash you with his hand.
And so what? I've been beat up by professionals. You think that's going to stop me from, being me? You better kill me. That's what I tell him. Laying there on a pile you better put me down right now, bud, because I'm coming for you the second I get better.
This is next level stuff we're dealing with. These guys are not pushovers, Walt. And let me tell you, if you're good to them, they'll be very, very good to you.
I'm a nice guy.
We get primo, the cream of the crop of ingredients. I'm not talking vinegar that you buy at the store. I'm talking about vinegar that was made in, the Himalayas or some shit. Something exotic. The best stuff.
You just get some really good wine and you let it go bad. Right? That's how you make vinegar, right? It's just bad wine, right? So
do we gotta get like vineyards at this resort? Like, we're gonna need a lot of property here. And I'm thinking white wines probably makes the best vinegar, right? So we need some colder climate. I'm thinking maybe Minnesota, fellas.
Well, we got to have like options too, because what if the guy wants to be in an apple cider vinegar, or a guy wants to be in
Minnesota? You grow apples in Minnesota.
You want a rice wine
for those
vinegar.
Orchards. Rice. I mean, the rice is going to have to be imported because this is going to be United States based.
Well, we don't have to make all the vinegar. That's crazy. Now you're talking about a farm. That's just a farm.
We're going to have a farm regardless because we have to be able to advertise that we make everything. It's all our ingredients. Everything's fresh.
Let's just lie. Let's just lie about making it.
Well, I mean, So you're saying that we should order cheaper ingredients from all over for much cheaper and lie about it?
Yeah, they don't care. They just wanted to think that, oh, I got told I'm the best, so, that's what you're selling them.
Well, I think you might be a genius businessman.
Am I? I always thought I might be, but I never got, I never, went for it.
Showing me a thing or two, eh, Lutz?
Yeah, maybe learn something from this customer.
All right. So, what else? What else can we offer?
You gotta have the upsell, right?
Yeah, but how do we do that? Like your barrel, you can have a jar or a barrel, and your barrel, the rings around the barrel can be made of solid gold.
Nah.
Too gaudy?
You're talking food insider stuff. It's got to be things like, okay, so here's the type of thing these people buy. Regular brine, room temperature, right? You barely feel it. Most of these girls are on so many. They're taking the Tish cocktail, Vyvanse, and propanol. So they're barely feeling it in the first place.
And don't forget that SSRIs.
No.
5G towers.
Yeah, all of it. And what you got to do is you got to say, well, we could make it 40 degrees, which is where the body, activates ketosis or whatever, whatever you tell them, whatever they're insecure about. If big butts are in season for girls again, we go, oh, it makes fat center around your ass.
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah. And for men, we could say, oh, it makes more blood go to the brain to come up with ideas, so you won't get kicked out of Cerberus Capital for being the worst PM there. Whatever these people want.
I heard there was a microdosing. Maybe we could microdose the pickle.
Oh, the
That's
pickle.
another thing.
There's foot massages you could fill with brine. They could just sit in a chair and pickle their feet. Then even just that, they could walk around with a crunch for a few days and feel great about themselves.
Now, can I ask a crazy question? And I've been thinking this the whole time.
No crazy questions.
Has anybody has anyone tried to bite a person? See if you can what would happen then? Would we be fiscally responsible if a guy gets pickled? And since he's pot pickle, somebody takes a bite out of him, would we be financially responsible?
I would imagine not. I'd imagine it'd be some sexual thing, right?
Has anyone tried to eat one of the pickled guys?
Probably Army Hammer. That crazy bastard. Just kidding.
He was just in a movie recently. I saw it on Tubi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got the Tubi.
What was it called?
I can't remember. I think it was...
It's called Insights.
Oh, Insight. And then I watched Buddy Games and a couple other ones I can't remember. Just IMDb and Tubi. Just go click.
Well, you're always talking about movies that don't exist.
Here's the crazy thing. Here's what you do when you get on these websites, right? You're going to see a bunch of movies you recognize. Just click the button to go to page 10. That's where the action is.
That's where I found Ace Ventura 4.
He's got a son now, I think. That's The Mask. I'm sorry. That was The Mask.
We've got a nephew in the family who, unfortunately, his great mother, she took a little too much Wellbutrin while carrying the poor little guy. He comes over and he says, "Uncle Lou, do you have Apple TV?" And I say, "Yeah." He walks right over, not saying a word, puts on Palmer, starring Justin Timberlake, an Apple original film.
I've heard good things. I heard the possibility that it was the best movie ever. I heard that it was floated as a possibility.
There's a lot of good stuff, and we could show these movies at at the resort. You could play Inheritance with Lily Collins and Simon Pegg. There's a lot of stuff that people are gonna go, "What? I never heard of this." You could
go watch the movie before the Strokes play.
It could be a trick. None of these people have Tubi. You realize. So it could be attractive to them. Some high-flying Park Avenue type guy or girl.
They're going to go, only I have seen this movie or heard of this movie. Because really, people, no one really has.
No one's seen it. No one has seen The Silencing starring Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Only Walt's seen the very excellent Mr. Dundee.
I think it was Paul Newman, now that I'm thinking back.
It's Paul Hogan.
It's one of the Pauls, but whichever one that's still alive, it wasn't him.
we're talking, I'm a classics guy. I'm watching stuff. I'm watching The Rocketeer. I'm watching Turbo Man. My favorites, and Alpha Dog, The Butterfly Effect, which is like the good Donnie Darko. A lot of all this stuff that we could have a cinema.
Yeah,
and we can set it up. We can set it up. We can set up in front of the jars. They can watch movies while they're pickling.
I saw a movie called The Fun Assassins, which was about two best friends who were both assassins, and they just had a great time the whole movie.
So
they were laughing their asses off.
why don't you put together a list of these movies? And I think this is starting to take form. We can also offer them things that they've never eaten before. And say, this is what they're eating in Romania or something. But really, it's like, okay, so 2 T-bone steaks with the meat scraped off of one and shoved onto half of an untoasted bagel with a slice of American cheese on it. Then there's 6 or 7 Cheetos in the middle of the steaks and 2 golden Oreos.
Just imagine the audacity of a man taking 2 Cheetos and curving them around a Pringles and topping them with a final Pringle and referring to that as a sandwich. That kind of meal.
Yeah,
well, this is a very specific algorithm. It's a little bit like sacred geometry, and this reminds me that we're going to need Pickle Shaman for this place.
I can find a guy.
We're going to need multiples. We're going to need a lot of Pickle Shaman to work here because these are going to be the guys. There is proof that these spas are allowing people to transform not only into a pickle or become pickled, but they're able to cross the different dimensions.
Yeah, and Walt, we don't want to blow your mind too much, but have you heard of the Abyss?
No, I've never heard of the Abyss.
It
sounds good.
You could say that. I mean, you know about the Lord Souls?
I'm
sure Aldo told you about that.
Listen, Walt, this is how Tony got that Lord vessel. Okay?
Yeah.
You're speaking Chinese to me, pal.
No, if we pickle long enough, we just might start doing that. Another thing, we got to get the Chinese to invest in this deal.
Yes. Well, to that end, Hu Jintao's granddaughter actually got into a jam at one of my galleries. So I may have a line on some of that.
I mean, let's get I want to hear more about this Abyss. I want to hear about the other side.
It's not a big thing. It doesn't change anything, but
it's not that much to it. But you're able to, yeah, I mean.
So I shouldn't worry?
Don't worry about the Abyss.
We'll show it to you, Walt.
I'd love to see it.
We'll make a day of it. And listen, I'm thinking, Walt, I'm thinking your PR. I think you're head of PR.
Mm-hmm.
I think you are the perfect guy to handle all of this stuff.
I'll get on morning radio. I'll be like, wait till you hear about this. I'll talk to Sway.
Whoa. No, I mean, no. Well,
you guys know Sway?
I'm actually the godfather of his son. Yes, thank you.
He used to be on TV during.
He knows about this.
During the nighttime, and now he's on the radio during the day.
He knows about these resorts, Walt. But don't go on the radio and talk about this. Is under wraps. This is exclusive. This is something you have to be invited to. It's like say someone there's a colognes that don't exist until they do exist. Like you have to go 400 miles across Africa to find a key that unlocks a box in Patagonia that has a clue of where to buy this cologne. Stuff like that these rich guys, they like to go on these little hunts, these expeditions. They like to play their weird games. And you got guys, I mean, big names like Kevin Pereira from G4 paid about $2.4 million for his pickling at this Montana joint. I want that guy. I want Adam Sessler. I want those guys.
I tell you what, if Mary Steinberger shows up at the resort, would I be allowed, as head of PR, to introduce myself to her?
I don't see why not.
All right, that's fine to me.
When they're at the resort, you could say whatever you want to them because they know what's going on. They're there. You're there to entertain and please and be a people pleaser, and we all got to turn up the charm on this thing, I don't want George Clooney going out there and saying, me and my hot lawyer wife are suing this resort due to crimes against humanity, It's like, no, George. I mean, he loves the CIA. He's made like a million movies about them. It's like, this is like a CIA type of deal. He thinks it's cool.
God. Oh, a mall? Yeah, she's a lawyer like I'm a dancer.
I've had a problem with him. Ocean's 11 would never happen. It would never work.
That's a great point.
Well, Walt, I mean, you got to come off this Ocean. I mean, I think that we could pull off an Ocean's 11, and you'd be one of the guys.
It'd be like that part. They had two guys that was just arguing. I can just argue with anybody. I'll save them a guy.
Everybody.
Give me 2 cuts, huh? I'll go on my famous pastrami rant.
You like Oceans 3 and 4?
Hey, wait, they got 3? They got an Ocean's 3?
Like you're like the third guy and the fourth guy, because. Forget it.
Okay. I thought I was gonna have to go hit Tubi and see if they got new Oceans on there.
Well, they made the last one they made was one with the broads, and I mean it's not good. Who wants to watch that?
They should have had Megan Trainor in there. Now they had a lot of music ladies, but they didn't have anybody with like a huge ass that like could sing about it and was like, the guys. You might think. This would be her lines in Ocean's 9 because it would be 9 of her, and she'd be like, you'd think that the guys. They don't like a huge ass, but they love my huge ass because that's what my mom told me.
I mean, we could actually probably pull off a kind of heist, but it's an inside job. We steal something from Baloo, well, whatever he has, like the best thing he has, like the Hope Diamond or whatever. I don't know if he has that shit or something like that. But then the insurance company gives us the payday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so...
Hey, with that kind of money, those Vassar boys are going to put out, right, Lou?
Oh, I've been thinking that since my first million. Don't hold your breath. So, I have a little... I do have a few things. I got a room full of, the gem monsters. You got to kill them to get the gem out of them. I got a room full of them. They can't escape. But I don't feel like doing it, I got a lot of the gems. I got the everlasting diamond. I got all the stuff. But,
Lou,
I'm holding
Lou's
on
got
to them.
several houses in this place where you got to put on a specific ring just to walk through the door.
Yeah, and I have 2 different, I have the nightmare fog, and then I got the other kind that you have to walk through.
Unbelievable.
But I could put down the fog for one night.
You know that, Walt. I went to school with this guy.
Oh, yeah?
He used to pee in other kids' drinks at lunch.
For like a sex thing or like a funny thing?
No, we are kids.
It was fun. I was the first guy who did
funny.
that.
He still does it to me.
It's pretty
I'll
fun.
go take a sip of my Mexican Coca-Cola, a refreshing drink, and I'll go, Lou, you pissed in this. And he'll just start cracking up. He starts coughing on his cigar.
It's a classic prank.
Wait. Hold on. Hold the phone here. This chartreuse tastes a little bit funny.
It's not chartreuse.
I didn't want to give Janine any trouble, but...
Oh, give her hell. I do every day.
She loves it. She loves it.
Am I drinking your green piss?
That actually is... No, that's just chartreuse.
Oh.
I bought her a real military-grade Humvee for Christmas, so you can say whatever you want to her. Fellas, I think that we're going to have to start cutting this thing... we are cutting it close because we got to get to that thing.
Yeah. I mean, the pontiff is probably already.
Should we take your driver? I mean, we can hop in my Tesla Plymouth Prowler.
Well, what if we take the blade?
Oh, the blade. It's been a while since we took the blade.
Haven't taken the blade since the Wuhan flu.
Oh, I don't know nothing about the blade. I was wondering, you rich guys, you must have those slingshot cars, those 3-wheeled cars. Maybe we could all get.
Do you get motion sickness, Walt?
Oh, constantly, but I keep on moving.
We'll give you a little bit of something. I got a doctor,
Yeah.
Ginger ale will probably be fine.
Nah, it's better than Dramamine.
Yeah, right. Something like that. One of those.
Oh, like Sudafed?
No, it's way better. Trust me. You're going to do that. You're going to have a good time. It's a blast. You'll love it. And also, we got to. Well, I talked to you about that tattoo you got to get. Or else, you can't come. You can't come to the those meetings.
Yeah, but my dad fought against those guys in World War II, and it's just
no, it's not.
It's gonna be a lot to stomach.
Not one of those tattoos. Trust me.
All right.
The one I got on my back. We can knock you out. I mean, we can knock you out for it.
Yeah, whose face is on that? I thought it was
I'm
like
not gonna
Paul Newman, but it's like,
it's not Paul Newman.
is he still alive? You guys can tell me if he's still alive. Because I just saw that movie, and I'm like, this
No,
guy.
he's dead.
All right, all right.
It's Lee Marvin. Okay.
Did you wink?
It's Lee Marvin.
All right, you didn't wink. That's fine. No winking.
I said, we taking the blade?
We're taking the blade.
Janine, page him down. Yeah, we're taking. No, we're taking the blade. I don't care if there's storms coming.
Janine, can I get a chartreuse to go? Yeah,
Oh, we got 'em.
styrofoam or
We got those in the blade. Don't worry.
You got chartreuse in the blade. Oh, all right. I thought I heard everything.
Well, I think we got a lot accomplished. I think this the spot. What are we gonna call it though? That's the issue here. We call
Now, do we want to go all fancy with it? You know,
fancy or kind of pretentious, or do you
give
want
it one of those?
Okay,
or obscure kind of?
it's got to
sounding?
be something, timeless. Like, how about Persephone's?
Benediction.
There's a store named Sephora. That's a pretty good name.
That
Why
was
don't
a
we use
store,
that?
Walt.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Completely
Walt.
different
We
business.
could go with the code.
What about Club Dill?
Do we want to put club in front of it?
Nah.
Is that too gaudy?
That's very South Florida. I don't think so.
Well, maybe let's just do Dill with one L.
But not everyone's gonna want dill. Is everyone gonna want dill? I mean, in the
Garlic with a Q, a UE.
sounds
That
too
was
French. That's a little too
nah,
French.
Nah, it's got to be timeless.
Let's call it timeless. Just say it right there in the front. Timeless.
No, the in there.
Just
I
timeless.
kind of like where you're going. Aldo, what do you think?
He's wishy-washy.